Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Right Now Insider Podcast, where you can get a sneak peek at what's coming for the profession as well as Right Now 2026. Please feel free to come join us in San Antonio, May 18th through the 20th, as we discuss everything we're going to talk about today. What is changing in this profession? It's often been said that the best time to plant a tree was years ago, and the second best time is right now. So, as we look to make improvement and changes in our firms, I am pleased to welcome in Lexi Bonacard and Carrie Hammond, who are leaders in product marketing for Intuit, as we discuss what's changed and what's coming to the industry. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yes, thank you. Very.
I want to get a little bit of backstage conversation out of the way first, real quick. Um, You all are both fellow podcasters. You guys run a
We are.
weekly podcast?
We
We do.
do.
We do. It's called Deduct This. We play it on YouTube. We release it every Wednesday. We also cut shorts and things like that, where we interview tax and accounting professionals about everything that's happening in the industry.
I love it, and I'm gonna have to add that into my, industry playlist. I have my professional playlist, my industry playlist, and then my "this is what I listen to when I'm out for a run" playlist.
That's
Excellent.
awesome.
Alright, ladies, let's dive right into it here. From your perspectives, what would you say has been the absolute biggest change or transition in this industry in, say, the last 12 to 18 months?
Oh my gosh. Carrie, we'll tag team this one, but I mean,
Yeah.
let's talk about the last 6 months, right? I mean, the biggest shift has really been the acceleration from digitization to automation and intelligence. And I mean, just that sentence alone is massive. Um, a year ago, Carrie and I talk about this weekly on our podcast. So many firms were just still focused on moving to cloud alone, right? And the standardizations. And now the conversation has moved towards AI assisted accounting and like agents and automation and moving more into the direction of advisory rather than just compliance. Carrie, you want to add?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we literally talk about this on a weekly basis, and I think I've seen the shift, right? Like Lexi said, in the last 6 months, it's been extreme to really introduce AI. Everyone's trying to figure out what it means, how they're gonna bring it in their firm, what it changes for day to day, and how they're gonna be doing their jobs differently. And little by little, the firms are really realizing what tasks can be done by AI and then where human intelligence needs to play in it. And it has to be the combination of the two. The news media is all talking about how AI is taking everyone's jobs and things like that. The more you p it's a little bit of scare tactics, right? But the more you play with it, the more you realize that it's an amazing companion, and it has to go in tandem with the human expertise because, 1, it's gonna get things wrong, but additionally, it will allow you to move faster, but you still have to gut check it all the time. So it's really a matter of figuring out how do you bring it on, how do you make sure it's good, it's solid, and then what you can speed up, and then where do you kinda have to slow down a little bit.
Exactly.
Yes. I saw a great article, either yesterday or this morning as I was sort of waking up, talking about a writer, staff writer for one of the big newspapers. It might have been New York Times. They recently had to let him go because they discovered that he had had some plagiarism in a article that he wrote because he used AI to help him start. And he asked the agent or the tool, whichever he was using, to help me come up with some ideas. By the way, if you pull directly from a site, please note it here so that I know not to plagiarize it. It didn't. It did for some of them, but it left out like whole cloth citations on a couple of others. So he then pulled some of that into his article. Turns out he just basically was copy pasting essentially. It's that trust, that human element that we still have to have, no matter how transformational the AI is currently in our tool set.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Well, one thing that I've been seeing a lot of articles, right? And we're in the middle of tax season right now. And what people are doing is they're literally taking their W-2s and sticking them in AI and saying, what are my deductions, et cetera. And what we're finding, I've talked to a ton of pros about this recently, is that they're like, yeah, it can absolutely catch some, which is amazing. But what it doesn't always tell you is the nuance of some of the rules behind them. Yes, this is a deduction that you could take, but you have to have these specific criteria, or you have to have a business entity that is, an S corp or C corp or et cetera. But it doesn't always give you all those little nuances. And then again, if you're not a pro, you wouldn't even know to ask those nuances. And it can I'm actually very worried that people are going to be doing this season, and then they're going to get hit with audits coming up because they didn't have a pro to go, yep, that is a real rule. And yes, people can use it, but you can't because of X, Y, and Z. And so, really understanding the role of professionals who actually understand tax code and how do they bring that. And then again, how do you add AI and things like that into that? But it's actually it's scary.
Yeah, and I think in the same vein, though, there's also a lot of professionals who aren't leaning in, and that's equally as
That's true.
scary. Because if
Great.
you are not leaning in, you will miss the bus. You will get behind. And so there's this, just like you said before, Derek, there's this fine line between the human element and the technology element. And those paired together, the power of those together is unstoppable, but it's a balance.
I heard a quote a couple years ago that said, AI is not going to replace the accountant.
Right.
The accountant using AI
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to replace the
I
accountant
totally agree
not
with that.
using AI.
100%. Exactly.
Yep.
Ex Totally agree with that quote.
Yep.
So here's one other question as we continue down this AI rabbit hole here for a minute. Um, are you seeing or hearing conversation around this part? I used AI. It allowed me to deliver my product faster, whatever it is, the prep, the audit, the advice, etc. And it actually cut my time in half.
Oh, yeah,
Do I
absolutely.
bill my client half as much for my hourly rate? Like, there's a big
Oh,
concern
yeah.
there. I've had multiple podcast conversations about that.
It's about the value you're bringing, right? It doesn't matter. So we use the analogy of we are in marketing, we have teams. If I have an employee who is using AI to do something faster and they get the job done in 1 hour versus 7, that doesn't devalue the work that they are producing. They just did it faster, which and so, same thing with our accounting pros. If you can use it to move faster, you still are producing the value that you are giving to your client, and you can charge them for it. Most people are getting away though from time and billing, right? It's about value add. And I do think that more and more, if pros again are using AI and things like that, they do need to understand what their billing needs to be, and it really does need to be more about value billing than hourly billing.
You're exactly right, Carrie. And the other thing is it's leaning more into that advisory aspect of the profession. And this is what pros should have been doing for a long time. They have been giving free advice away for a long, long time. They've been undervaluing themselves, and they're starting to realize it, especially now that the compliance piece is literally being automated. And so just like Carrie said, right? Like if anything, to me, the price goes up because you're going to have time now to really understand what's happening in the business. Do a look back, do a look forward. That time is being freed up due to the compliance being handled, that the value just increased in folds.
Yeah, if you hired somebody at an intern level to come in and just do, call it just basic data entry for compliance work, you would have more time on your hands to dive deeper into the output. Yeah. So let's talk about Intuit specifically. What has changed for you guys in the last 12 to 18 months?
Oh my gosh, so much, right, Carrie? It is the most, and like not to sound cliche, it is the most exciting time to be into it right now. The products are unbelievable because we've been ahead of this. Like our CEO, our leadership has been talking about AI for years and we've been planning for this. And so the product features, the releases coming out this summer that will be announced at your event as well, they're better than they've ever been. It is an exciting time to be a customer. It's an exciting time for the industry. The partnerships that are happening with other, we announced our Anthropic partnerships and things like that. I mean, that's huge. And so Carrie and I were just talking about this the other day. Like, this is the coolest time to be at Intuit from a technology and product standpoint.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that, we're always listening to our customers. That is literally the foundation of Intuit is watch what your customers do, talk to them, understand their feedback, understand their problems, and see if you can specifically fix their problems. And, we do see our pros jumping from software to software to software. And we're trying to make that so much more seamless so that you're staying in one software solution and being able to do your books and your tax and your advisor, the end-to-end solution so that you don't have to use 20 different things and hodgepodge things together. That's going to save you time. It's going to save mistakes. Using AI to be able to talk back and forth and be able to understand anomalies and be able to find insights and surface those up is game changing.
Exactly. Intuit Accountant Suite is what's been announced. That's already been, in pilots, and everyone knows about it. It was announced at Connect. And the next iteration of what that means for tax and the accounting and tax industry and the tax portion of it is that it's a collaboration in a single system. It's your client management, your books, your workflows, your insights, all in one platform, which talk about what we were saying earlier, just the power of it all being there, tax integration rolling in, coming out this summer and having it all in one place. It's just going to close the loop between books and tax that our customers have been begging for so long, and it's here. And so some really, really exciting stuff coming out in late spring.
I'm not gonna hold you to it, right? You guys, big company, you have your own timing on this stuff, but what are you most excited to talk about or potentially announce down in San Antonio?
Yeah. So I know we're gonna be speaking while we're there, but we will be really showcasing. So we did announce Intuit Accountant Suite, I think in October or November-ish, and that it was coming and coming to fruition. But we will actually be showing it, and we'll be able to show exactly how this is all gonna work together, how you're gonna easily be able to jump for like, it's managing your firm, it's managing your clients all in one place. So I think it's really kind of where the rubber meets the road is like, we talked about it, and now we're actually gonna show it.
Exactly. It's been in concept form for a while. Even like Carrie said, what's happened with the product since October and the general release of the book side of it, bringing in the tax portion is just going to be huge. And so that's, like I said, coming in late summer. And we've teed it up, we've teased it. They know it's coming, but to be able to see it live and in the wild is just and using it for next tax season. I mean, we've been saying this internally and also speaking on our own podcast to our customers and prospects and competitors, and we've been just saying, like, this is the end of tax as you know it. Next year, it will not look anything like this year, and it's the truth.
Everybody's been saying that for several years, right? At first it was blockchain. Blockchain was gonna be the end of tax. I feel like this is the first time that it's not so much a, "Oh, maybe 10% chance," like, there's a legit chance that this is the end of it. Um, I had I had a conversation with Gail Perry, editor in chief over at CPA Practice Advisor. A couple weeks ago, we were doing a podcast, and she made mention to me that this year is the first year that the IRS is going to be sending out 1099 DAs, the digital asset 1099s. They expect to send out 8 billion 1099 DAs because of how many so small microtransactions and NTFs and all that stuff. And that alone is a complete change to the profession versus, what was in 2025. And now we're talking about incorporating AI tools, workflow automation, transformational change within the firm. This is exciting.
It's so exciting, and I'm just like just to speak to these customers and to speak to tax and accounting pros and firms. I'm like so amazed at how many are leaning in. And, truly, like, there's some that are resisting, but majority of the people and firms that we speak to, they're leaning in and they're adopting these new tools and they're leaning into the new features, and let me just tell you, the ones that are doing it, even early on right now before the full transformation, they're on fire, their firms are on fire, they're seeing the benefits, they're getting their lives back and making more money than they've ever made. I mean, what's not to love about what's happening in this industry? And the other thing that's happening, Carrie and I talk about this all the time, it's becoming a sexy industry again. So guess who's coming into the industry now? The youngins, and maybe it's going to save what was looking like to be, a huge group of retirees and not a lot coming into the industry. So it's a space to watch. It is very cool.
Yeah, and I also think that this time specifically more than ever, I've been working into it for 20 years, and notoriously, Pros are a little bit laggard on technology. They don't necessarily jump on immediately because, again, very specific on how they look at things and evaluate things, which is exactly why they're so good at their jobs. But this is the first time I've actually seen people jump on quickly. And I think because the barrier to entry is extremely low with AI and understanding how you can just dabble and you can start to see benefits of it. And like Lexi said, is I do think that more and more pros are realizing they don't want to do the 100-hour tax season every week, and they're realizing, hey, I want to have dinner with my family at night. I want to travel. I don't want to be stuck at my office, from January to April, and I don't get to see or talk to anybody for months on end. And the shift is happening. And again, I think this is the first time I've heard people say they wanted to do it. This is the first time I'm actually seeing people do it, and that is very exciting. So I can only imagine next year how much more it will be embraced.
I had a hot take on a podcast last week, that I called it, I think 2026 and 27 are gonna be the year of the new shingle. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who are perhaps exiting firms that are caught up in the PE roll-up M&A, space, weren't quite at that partner level, right? But they love the industry, they love what they do, and they wanna say it, so it's never been easier to start your own firm,
Yeah,
Totally
period.
agree.
so true.
Totally agree.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
true.
the barrier to entry is easier, and again, if you are at the large, the Big 5 kinda thing, and again, those firms it's gonna be harder for them to adopt some of this technology, right? Because it's a larger ship, it's harder to move it, and if you are wanting to have a different sort of, life that you're bringing, or you wanna have a different kind of firm or different time people that you're around, the barrier to entry of entrepreneurship and doing your own thing and kind of hanging your shingle is now, right?
Okay, so I'm now, putting myself in the shoes of a principal, a partner, whether I just hung my own shingle or something like that. I'm hearing a lot of noise. I'm hearing a lot of companies out there telling me our product is the solution to all this because we've got AI. Our product is we've got all the investment behind. How do I know? What do I need to know to put my trust into something?
It literally is consuming all of our content that we're ingesting. And you're exactly right. The biggest thing that firms can do right now is who's walking the walk? Like simple as that. Go into your product demos. You should right now after the close, right? After 4:15, even before, right? If you're done with the last extension deadline, like or the last business deadline, we know you're starting to shop around. Go in, shop competitors, come see what the hottest thing is. And I don't mean hottest, I'm just saying who's actually done the work on the product.
So I think additionally, I think to your point, Lexi, like what I've been hearing about, my team also runs events and shows and things like that. And so I have seen for the last 6 months or so for a year, what happens is it becomes a buzzword. And then the buzzword then needs nothing because it needs everything. And so really be pushing the software and the things that you're bringing into your firm to understand what exactly are they saying that it does, ensuring that it does the things that it says it's doing, as opposed to just using it as marketing. Yeah, I mean, again, it needs to walk the walk and talk the talk. If it's saying that it's going to find anomalies or it's going to surface insights, et cetera, check out a demo. Make sure it's actually going to do what it says it's going to do. And if it does, then you can actually bring it to fruition, as opposed to just being like, oh yeah, it's in the back and you can't see it. Well, then is it's behind the walls. Then does that really matter? Right. So see if it's really free at the time and make people be able to move faster, be able to do their job easier, be able to free that time up for advisory and provide higher level value services to their clients.
Everyone's doing demos. They're doing them still right now, even during season. Again, keep shopping, put pressure test the products out there, and you'll quickly start to see who's making the improvements, and what's actually happening. Yeah,
So you're
agree.
saying essentially what you need to do is be doing your own investigation into this stuff,
100%.
Yeah.
not just sitting back and reading. Like I can't car shop anymore. I can go to CarMax and do all that, but if I really want to know if the car fits me, I'm tall. I'm 6'4".
Test ride
Do I
it.
Yep.
fit in the car? I got to go out and do it. Got it.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep. Touch it, feel it, make sure it's gonna work. And the proof is gonna be in the pudding. Like if it either says if it says it does something and it's not doing it, and they're like, oh, it's coming soon. Like, make sure it's there.
Okay. Crystal ball. What do you see coming in the next 12 to 18 months that's going to drastically impact this profession?
I think it's gonna continue the ball, I think, is kinda going down the hill, if you will, and I think it's gonna get bigger and bigger, and like you said before with your quote of, like, the pros that are using AI are gonna replace the ones that aren't. I think more and more people are gonna realize that. More and more people are gonna go to, industry events, etcetera, and understand and talk to their peers. What are you doing? How are you using it? Making real tangible decisions about how they can change their firm, their makeup, who their employees are, being able to, again, work with employees all over the world, arguably. Again, more and more software is being online and in the cloud, and really being able to figure out what are you bringing to the table because clients are going to question, hey, can I just get that on my chat GPT or my Claude, et cetera? You're going to have to be able to show that you are bringing that human value and that expertise that they are not going to get by typing on their computer themselves. And so really understanding what you bring to the table and being able to talk about it and showcase that to your clients, I think will be even more and more impactful this next year.
Yeah, there's gonna be you made a great point about the talent too. Like, it's gonna move from AI being like an experiment to an expectation without a doubt. And there's going to be, I think, for the first time ever, a pressure from the bottom up, from client through pro to the company. Because guess what? TikTok, social. I mean, I was laughing with my tax professional when we were doing my taxes because I was like, hey, can I do this? And then she's like, oh my gosh, because she's like, this happens all day long. Businesses for like her own, like whether individuals, businesses, they're like, hey, can we write the, you know what I mean? Like they're sending the TikTok of all these, what you can write off and these new things. And that is not going to change. If anything, it's going to happen because what's happening is customers are understanding taxes more. And so they're going to question more because of the knowledge that's coming through social channels and peers and all, we're in information overload. And so again, AI is not going to be an experiment, it's an expectation. And then talent is just going to have to amplify what they're doing and the knowledge that they have as well.
Yep.
Just because you see on TikTok some kid jump into the race, the marathon at mile 25.5
Right.
and then
Yep.
finish first,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that he actually won the race. No, you can't just do that.
I know. It's crazy, but right, perception's reality.
Well, it is, and then but the veil has been lifted a little bit for taxes. For years, everyone's like, "I don't know what it is, I don't know," but there is, like, it shows up well, I mean, it's part of my algorithm at this point, but, Lexi's not wrong. I ask my husband and my tax pro all the time stuff I see on TikTok. I'm like, "Can we do that?" Like, and they're like, "Please stop asking us these questions," but it's become so close and it's almost tangible at this point because I'm curious and I hear something and it gets me excited. And so then I want to ask more and more questions. And it's going to happen more and more and more.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, last couple of fast few questions here. Have either of you been to San Antonio before?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Many, many
Okay.
Yes.
times.
Yes.
So, for anybody listening who's coming down to San Antonio, what should they be sure not to miss?
Oh,
The
you got to do the
Riverwalk.
river walk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh,
like
it's
Vegas in
beautiful.
Texas. It's fun. It's interesting to see, right? There's like water going through all these restaurants and shops and things like that, and you can walk along. It's fun to stroll. And there's great little things to kind of check out. It's fun. It's something I don't think I've ever seen anywhere, maybe besides a Vegas hotel. It's kind of in the middle there, but it's a fun place to definitely go check out, and it's very unique to San Antonio.
Love it. Agree.
What about the Alamo? Yay? Nay?
Okay,
Mhm.
listen, it was underwhelming for me, but maybe you gotta stop
Me
by because
too.
you learned about it. Although I was raised in Oregon, so I
Yeah.
didn't know about that till I moved to Texas, but because I live in Texas, but so is Carrie. But yeah,
Yeah.
stop by, check it out. It's smaller than
It's
you think
I
it's gonna
mean,
be.
I was gonna say, it's only about a 5-minute thing to go walk through if you want
Yeah,
to. Like, I agree. I was actually a little shocked because I didn't know about it. I also live in Texas. I thought it was gonna be this huge, immense
so
thing,
did
but, I
I.
mean, I feel like I saw it, I did it, I don't have to go do it again, but, maybe that's what it is. It's a quick
Okay.
little walk by.
All right, the question that I need to ask everybody, because this is important to me. I collect socks when I go to conferences. That's like my thing. And then my kids make fun of me for wearing the bright pink socks or the yellow socks or whatever. So, what swag is Intuit going to have at the booth?
That's a
I
good
don't We
one.
always have good swag, I will tell you that. I don't know what they are gonna bring
I heard
specifically
this
to this
morning,
event, but
Carrie, what it's gonna be.
oh, okay.
I heard it's
What is it?
gonna
I don't
be
even know.
pickleball sets.
Oh.
which is super cool because that's
Mhm.
again the other hottest
I'm gonna want one
thing.
of those. Yes.
And what was the other thing? It was fans because one thing about fun fact about San Antonio, you're gonna
It's
be hot
hot.
and sticky.
It is hot and sticky. That's exciting. I'm gonna have to get one of those pickleball sets.
Okay. Each of you is going to have 30 seconds to answer this next question. We're going to go Lexi first and then Carrie. Kind of, not really. Um, I want you to uh, imagine that we've got a time machine in front of us. You're going to go back in time 10 years and you're going to come face to face with your younger self. So, Lexi, we'll see younger Lexi, Carrie, younger Carrie. You have 30 seconds. What's the one piece of advice you're going to give your younger self? Lexi, you're first.
Don't buy that new car. It's not worth it. Your car's paid off. Don't do it. And just gosh, be genuine, authentic, integrity. Continue to be who you are. Don't change a thing. Look, it makes me tear up. My gosh. That's what I would say. Keep on keeping on, girl. You got this.
That is heartfelt.
Yeah,
Carrie,
look.
that's a big
Uh,
one to follow, Carrie, but the
I
question's
know. I
yours.
feel like I say I be authentically yourself. Embrace it. I'm 6 foot tall. Be big. Be like bring it. Enjoying it. Enjoy it. Don't make yourself smaller for other people. And at the end of the day, continue to push to be great, but never, don't push yourself so hard that you're going to suffer for it.
Man, you've hit a spot.
Look at Alexis tearing up.
And I like don't do this. That's funny.
Who knew, Derek? They were like, "We're gonna be on our
This is
podcast, so you're gonna
He's like, oh my
cry on our
gosh,
podcast."
these
this is
win
this is
wins.
deep. This is
This is
deep.
deep.
This is.
Okay, so well, this one might be a deep question as
Oh
because we're gonna
geez.
flip this around. We're gonna go
Oh.
the opposite direction. We're gonna go 10 years forward in time. Now, you
Oh.
yourself right now are going to
Okay.
have the opportunity to ask one question of yourself 10 years from now. What question are you asking of yourself?
What day do you retire? Is that terrible?
Did you save enough?
I know. Yes, right? Like, did you talk to your pro about making sure that you have enough
Yeah.
money in the bank? Um, yeah, I think that's it. I'm in that life stage right now. My children are going to college. I'm about to be an empty nester. And so, yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what's my next stage of life. And so, yeah, do you have enough money? Or what did you do to make sure that you have enough money? And then what day do you get to just go play pickleball in the middle or go just travel Europe whenever you want to? I don't know. That's a great answer, but that's where
No,
I'm
That's
it's
at.
that's
great.
a
It's
that's
awesome.
an honest. Yep.
That's amazing. I
Lexi?
think I think it's just back to what I would, did you build something that lasts? Were you part of something bigger than yourself? Something that, legacy stuff comes into play. Like, what do you want to like? And also, like, were you an amazing mom? Like, that's right there. Like, I do this for that, right?
Yeah.
I do this job so that I can have the time and give my children what they want.
Yep.
Not necessarily well, let me rephrase it.
Oh, I know
What they
what you
Well,
need,
mean.
wait a minute. Yeah,
not what
yeah,
they want.
exactly.
I no, same. This is for
Well,
them.
what is it? Work to live, not live to work.
Yep.
I'm a massive, massive believer in that.
Yep. Well, ladies, I appreciate your time, and I think that's actually a perfect way for us to end this, right? We want to encourage all these practitioners to work to live, not live to work. And the best way that you can do that is, and I'm quoting you here, Lexi, from a little bit before, talk to your customers, understand their feedback, and solve their problems. We encourage everybody to come join us in San Antonio, again, May 18th through the 20th for Right Now 2026, as we look to explore where you can do that better in your firms, where you can help change the lives of your employees, your customers, your family by making your firm better. This is where the profession's brightest minds will meet and shape what's next for their firms. You can register at rightworks.com/right now. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me
Thank
today.
you. And see
Thank
you in San
you.
Antonio.